houseplanters, welcome back to Millennial Planter. I'm Marina, the Millennial Planter, and if you have a thing for houseplants like me, just a little thing, small, I suggest you hit that subscribe button because on this channel I talk about all things houseplant related, and today's video I am sharing with you my 5 basic favorite houseplants. So actually, Christian over at Crazy Plant Guy tagged me in this, and he sort of got this tag going, but this conversation has been going for a while on Instagram, and it's basically just a group of us wanting to spread love and share the beauty in our basic favorite plants, the plants that you can find at the big box stores, the plants that probably started your obsession, the OGs. And I mean, I could go on and on about everything that is just going on in the plant world, especially in the rare plant community, and how rare plants are usually just hard to find plants, and how people are just taking advantage of it, and how the prices just keep getting more and more higher and just more and more crazy. But at the end of the day, I mean, most of us know what's going on, and we just want to share some love and just share the beauty in plants that started it for us, plants that you can see everywhere and find everywhere. And just because you don't have any of these hard to find plants doesn't mean that your collection is any more inadequate. I started my collection because plants bring me joy no matter what they look like or how hard to find they are. I just love seeing these lush green beauties, and honestly, we need more of this kind of energy in our life. Just those easygoing plants, those reliable plants, those plants we know won't give us any problems if we go through a state of just not wanting to water our plants. We have these basic plants that can just bring us so much joy, even though we care for them like so little. Hopefully that's making some sort of sense. Anyways, let's just get on with the video. I will leave Christian's video down below if you all want to see it, check it out. I'm sure a lot of you have already, but he has some really good ones. And so yeah, let's go. Here are my 5 top favorite basic houseplants. So first and foremost, I have this beautiful long bamboo plant. Actually, I have seen a few of these videos and nobody has mentioned a bamboo plant, and these guys bring me so much joy. They are so reliable. They are so low light tolerant. Don't mind these edges here. My cat actually got to it a few times, so I moved it so she doesn't chew on it anymore. But as you can see, I have this one in just some water, and I actually leave it right by my sink, and it gets very little light. I have a north-facing window right by my sink. This plant has just put out so much new growth, and growing up, my mom always had this plant, and my sister has always had this plant, and their plants are massive now, and it's just a real nostalgic type of plant for me, and I feel really connected to them every time I see this, and it just reminds me more of them. And yeah, like, I highly recommend getting these. You can get them literally everywhere. They're actually dracaenas. They're not technically real bamboos, so that's pretty cool, pretty fascinating. But yeah, they're super low maintenance, literally so low maintenance. And I like keeping it in water just because I like the look of it, and I like the stones that I have in there. But yeah, there's plant number 1, this beautiful, huge bamboo plant. Plant number 2 is actually a real slept on plant, and I actually have a few different varieties in my collection, but actually I have one right here behind me, and it's this beautiful heartleaf philodendron. These guys are my top favorite philodendron. You have the dark green variety, and then you also have the lemon lime variety, and then you combine them together, you get the Brazil. As you can see, it's kind of a mixture of both, with the dark green and the lime stripe going down the middle. All of these you can find pretty much everywhere, and I feel like these guys are more low light tolerant than even pothos. I have put these in some very low light situations, and they just grow and grow and grow. The only downside is that the leaves get really small. As you can see, I have one here, and those leaves are just so tiny. So I have bought this out into more light so that the leaves can get a little bigger, but this is just one long strand of Brazil, and since it got lower light, it just turned into a regular green philodendron. But I just love these. I love how smooth the leaves are. I love these even more than pothos. And that's crazy because I used to really love pothos, but these heartleaf philodendrons have just stolen my heart. There's just no words for how much I love these guys. My favorite trailing plant, so definitely go out and find one, and hopefully it'll bring you as much joy as it has brought me. Plant number 3 is this beautiful Monstera deliciosa, which I know a few people have mentioned in their basic houseplant videos, but honestly, how can you not? I mean, I have three different ones of just regular green Monstera deliciosa, and I just can't get enough of them. We got the wee baby ones, and then we have this one that I like to call like a preteen. As you can see, like, these leaves are pretty huge. They're bigger than my hand. I even have one that has some fenestration, but we're working on it. I want to get this guy to climb this pole eventually, and hopefully in 1 or 2 leaves I will have another fenestrated leaf. I also have one that's outside, and it's doing great. It's living its life out there. I would bring it in, but I don't want to clean it off and accidentally bring in some type of bug. But Monsteras are just such great classic houseplants. Everybody just needs one in their collection, 1 or 4 or 5. You know, who's stopping you? I'm not gonna stop you. If you want 5, then get 5. And they're so easygoing. They're so reliable. They're pretty low light tolerant. If you put them in lower light, they're obviously not gonna grow fast. But I mean, this guy, he's in a pretty shaded area, and this is his newest leaf, and just look at how big it is. I just love looking at it all the time, and I kind of want to put it on my table as a centerpiece just so I can look at it more. Is that weird? Maybe. My 4th favorite basic houseplant is probably going to be a little controversial, and I'm sorry if you have been personally victimized by this plant, but it's the lemon lime maranta. Look at that. I have a crispy leaf because I waited too long to water this plant, and that's what I mean by personally victimized. This plant can go wrong for a lot of people, both beginner and not beginner plant owners. They are just more finicky, not really more finicky, but they just love water. They don't like to dry out. So, I mean, if you are more of a neglectful plant parent, definitely don't recommend this plant. But if you are a helicopter plant parent, like myself, maybe give this plant a try. But I mean, how can you not love these leaves? They're almost like a velvet in the middle. As you can see, they're very soft and fuzzy, and they move. The leaves go up at night and they flatten out in the daytime, which is just crazy. I have seen this plant move myself out of the corner of my eye, and it is kind of creepy. My husband has even gotten a little spooked by this plant before. Just, it's weird, but it's very cool at the same time. And yeah, this is a lemon lime maranta. I don't even know if I said that yet. But yes, I love this plant, and it's so prolific. It is such a prolific grower. As you can see, there's 1 new leaf here, and it has unfurled like 3 leaves. So once again, another good low light tolerant plant. I have this in a very shady area, and it has not stopped growing. So yeah, lemon lime maranta. I would love to know, actually, do you like marantas? Are you good with them? Let me know in the comments. Share your experience with marantas, because I would love to hear it. I love this plant. It's just such a beautiful plant. I saved the best, in my opinion, for last, because this plant is the plant that has just started it all for me. This plant I have talked about so much, and a lot of people ask me for advice on these plants because I am just such an advocate for this genus, and it is another controversial one because a lot of people struggle with these plants, and I kind of struggled with them for a little bit. Let me just bring them out. It is my Dieffenbachia. As you can see, this guy is massive. This is my first plant baby, and I have so much love for this plant. Honestly, really and truly. When I first got this, it was at a Home Depot and I had no clue what it was, no idea. And I just brought it home and I left it on my windowsill and it somehow did perfectly fine. And it was then when I realized that I was able to keep this plant alive that, you know, maybe I can go ahead and give some other plants a try. And I mean, this plant, it has not stopped growing. As you can see, it's putting a leaf out there. And I just put it outside for now because I want to see how big these leaves get. If you don't know, dumb cane get like really big, gorgeous, really jungle-esque leaves the more sunlight they get, and it's amazing. And specifically this variety, I think it's the sanguine, they are pretty low light tolerant as well. Not all dumb canes are very low light tolerant, so just keep that in mind. And they are a little bit on the thirsty side, I've noticed, but I have a couple varieties of Dieffenbachia and I love them all. I love them all. And I can't even believe how big this plant has gotten. It was probably like right here 2 years ago. And I mean, as you can see, it's a big one. I love this plant. I know I've said that a million times, but it's just such a good classic. The plant isn't perfect. You know, I have to keep these stems all together, all tied together, because it's pushed out several stems since I've had it. There's about 7 different stems in here, and at least 4 of them it's pushed out in my care. So it's just a crazy grower. All these guys do is grow. I mean, it pushes out 1 leaf and right away the second one will be coming out. So it's pretty crazy. And so that is it, houseplanters. Those are my top 5 favorite houseplants, and honestly, I think we should just all give a moment to let these plants shine for their beauty and for their easygoingness. Is that a word? Because I mean, we just need this energy in our life, especially in 2020, as crazy of a year as it's been. We just need some more easygoing plants, and let's just spread the love and just know that just because you don't have any of these hard to find or rare plants in your collection is still beautiful, and I'm sure it brings you so much joy, and that is what houseplant collecting is all about, just them bringing you joy, because all these plants bring me a whole lot of joy, that's for sure. And I would love to know some of your basic favorite houseplants in the comments down below. And thank you, Christian, so much for tagging me and just getting this tag started. I would love to tag just anybody that hasn't done this video yet. I know it's been going around for the past week, so if you haven't done this video, consider yourself tagged. I hope you all will give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video. I hope you all are staying safe and sane and happy, and have a wonderful day. Bye.